So welcome to the town of Cle Elum. It's not a very big place, a little tiny place up in kind of a little bit towards the north of central Washington. I worked up here a couple years ago building a house in a place called Suncadia. It's not too far from here. And my sister used to live here when she managed a convenience store, gas station, a couple of years back. It's a nice little town. I mean, it's got all kinds of stuff to look at. And during the peak season in the summertime, there's always something going on around here. Pretty cool. So if any of you guys are wondering why I'm up here anyways, just, I don't know how far away from home am I? Let's see, 64 miles away from home. It's a Sunday afternoon, and why is my clock reset? Frickin' Harleys, man. My clock is flashing 12 like it's like the battery was dead or something. But anyways, the reason why I came up here is because I'm going to make a trip over to Suncadia to take a picture of a tree. Yep. It's a dumb thing. I rode all the way up here just to take a picture of one tree, but this tree, I got to thinking about it the first time I saw this tree when I was up here working. It kind of reflects my view of society, and you guys you'll have to stick around and wait and see and take a look at the picture that I take of this thing to kind of see what I'm talking about. But it's really pretty cool.
But on my ride up there, on my helmet camera, I got a bug splatter pretty early on in the ride. So I recorded a bunch of footage on my helmet cam, vlogging and taking scenic video and stuff like that, not even realizing this stupid bug was there. And in my mind now, the footage is ruined. So what do I do with all this footage that I've recorded? Do I just throw it in the garbage, or do I edit it and just try to make the best of it that I can? So I had run over the scenario several times in my head, how I would ride up there to get the shot of this tree. I know it's just a tree, but still, I'd been thinking about it for the last 2 years. Ever since I spotted this thing off the side of the road as I'm crossing a bridge going into Suncadia, I noticed this tree sticking out over the river like it was just antisocial, like it didn't want to just didn't want to be there. Even though the shot of this tree didn't turn out the way I thought it would in my mind, I realized that with video editing, I can just make this memory the way I want it to be. Shape it how I saw it in my head, how I had imagined it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this footage and the photos of that tree, and I'm going to shape them into the memory that I had imagined in my mind, because I can do that.
And I remember riding past this and driving past this little valley several times before, and just looking over to the side of it, just how nice would that be to just have a house right down there somewhere. Yeah, just like the most beautiful little chunk of earth right there. It's just so beautiful. Wind's blowing out here just a little bit, maybe 30 miles an hour. Well, what's really cool about this is not only do we got something really nice looking on this side of the road, but I'm gonna flip the camera around, you can see something else that's it's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie, but it's not natural, it's completely man-made. Those things up there. In between the sounds of the cars going by, when it gets really quiet, you can hear those up there just spinning in the breeze. I gotta say, man, they are a sight to behold. And this isn't just there's not just a few of them up on the other side of the hill over there. There's a bunch of them, like a lot of them. It's actually kind of cool.
Turns out exactly how we'd planned it or not, well, that's also kind of the magic part about things. art kind of imitates life in a way, but it also kind of takes on a life of its own. As you start to mold things, as you start to edit things, as you start to just put everything together from the beginning all the way to the end. Sometimes it doesn't turn out like you think it should, but then sometimes it turns out even better.
There's an old telephone museum right there. We didn't get to go in there last time we were here. They were closed because of the whole COVID thing, but there's little knick-knack shops and antique shops and all kinds of stuff up and down this road. It's pretty cool. I don't know, I guess maybe the older I get, the more I enjoy kind of doing that sort of thing with my wife and kids. Just going around, just looking at stuff, you know. Don't necessarily have to buy anything, you just kind of want to wander around and look at things. And every once in a while you find something in those old antique shops that you just have to take home with you. We've got all kinds of stuff all over our house now that we've got fully settled in there. We've just picked up all kinds of things from old antique shops and stuff. We've been in that place, Attic Treasures thrift store. That's more of a clothing store than anything, but I guess if you're looking for some vintage clothing, that's the place to go. I got my GPS jabbering at me like I care.
And even though the photo of this tree didn't turn out the way I thought it would, I still have a memory now. A memory tied to this tree. It's kind of silly, the whole thing, really. I mean, why would somebody ride over an hour and a half away from their home just to get a photo of a tree? Maybe it's just an excuse to go somewhere. Maybe it's an excuse just to capture the shot. I don't know. It's weird, but I did it anyways. But part of me kind of realizes that maybe that's all the excuse that we need to go somewhere. Just one little thing. Going somewhere just for one little thing. Maybe that's kind of, I don't know, a small pleasure of life. Maybe you don't have an excuse to go somewhere unless you have that one little thing. And maybe that's all it takes. Just one little thing. For me, it was a tree. Next time, it'll probably be a jar of mustard.
So yeah, when I was working up here, there was always deer all over the place, and they're pretty strict about, you know, feeding them. You're not allowed to feed them. You will get fined pretty hardcore if you feed any of the wildlife up here. So I guess, you know, even though we're kind of building these houses and, you know, building onto their land and stuff and kind of pushing them around a little bit, maybe they're just trying to do their best to kind of conserve the habitat for the deer and the bears and the foxes and the squirrels and everything. And as you can see, they have not gone out of their way to clear out any of these trees. They carved this community out of the forest. And one thing I've kind of wondered about, how's that going to work out, you know, if a major forest fire goes through here, because we have had some pretty bad forest fires here in Washington State as of late, in the last few years, which is a shame. I don't know why. I don't know what the heck it is lately about, you know, I don't remember the whole world catching on fire every summer when I was younger, but here we are. Okay, so right over there is the bridge over the river that's under the tree that I have to get a picture of. Unfortunately, it's a pretty busy little 2-lane road here, people cruising by doing 50 miles an hour, and the shoulder is not very big, so that means I'm gonna have to set up my camera, run across the road, try not to get hit by a car, make my way out to the middle of the bridge, look to the east, I think that's to the east, maybe, yeah, probably to the east, get a couple of pictures of this tree and get back over here without getting hit by a car. I sure hope it's worth it. Just waiting for the perfect opportunity to make my way across the street here. Oh, I hope I don't get hit by a car. Walking down the road like this like a freaking idiot. Guess it better be worth it. Forgive the footage if it's a little bit shaky. I don't have a gimbal or anything for this. There's the tree. Right there. That's the one I came all this way for, just to take a picture of that. I'm gonna get a picture of it and get the hell off of this bridge. Well, anyways, that's going to do it for the video for today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. This is kind of what I plan on doing with this channel. Not from here on out. I'll mix in all kinds of other stuff, but some of you may have noticed that I did change the channel name to Gasworks ISO. I'll explain that later, what that means exactly, but traffic, everywhere traffic, no matter where you go, there's always traffic. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, remember to ride safe, have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one.